Intermittent Fasting Weight Loss Diet Tips for Women, written by Frankie Jameson, narrated by Denise L. Fountain. Introduction. Intermittent fasting involves alternating periods of feast and famine in which you may eat as much as you like during the feasting but drink only water during the fast. The aim is to achieve the benefits of calorie reduction and for some, use it as a vehicle to lose weight. Intermittent fasting can be done over a number of days in alternating 24-hour periods or daily. The first option requires you abstain from some or all meals on one or more days of the week. Daily fasting utilizes 24-hour periods of eating and fasting that begin and end at the same time each day. For example, fast from Monday 6 p.m. until Tuesday 6 p.m. Eat as much as you like from Tuesday 6 p.m. to Wednesday 6 p.m. and repeat the process. During daily intermittent fasting, there is a short period for eating, usually 4 to 6 hours, within the 24-hour day, during which you can eat as much as you like. Some of the things that put people off are the fear that they will be extremely hungry and not stick to the plan or do not know how to fit it into their schedule. This is actually quite simple if you plan in advance. You get to eat your evening meal at pretty much the same time every day, but at an hour either side depending on if doing an intermittent fasting or an eating phase. Again, with a little planning, you can also accommodate socializing and eating out. The main factor preventing many people from trying is the fear of being hungry. Although this does take a little willpower and a slight degree of discomfort to begin with, it is actually quite easy. Chapter 1. Why intermittent fasting is so important. Intermittent fasting is a very important factor of any fat loss plan, and you must include it in your workout to get better results. Fasting is the process where you have to drink only water and don't eat anything for 24 hours. In this process, you will lose both fat and weight. What this process does is that it cuts your full daily calorie intake and still maintains a full workout schedule. Fasting is a very good tool for those who are really serious about fat loss and muscle building. 3 main reasons why you should do it. Number 1, maximum fat loss. The main reason why you should do it is that intermittent fasting consumes maximum fats. Just imagine if you implement fasting just for 2 days a week, you are cutting a whole full 2 days calorie quota from your weekly consumption. And this combined with your daily workout can give excellent results and you will lose excessive fat. Number 2, maintains workout load very well. The second reason for fasting is that it allows you to maintain a moderate to intense workout load without losing your energy and metabolism. Most of the people think that fasting drains your energy and metabolism, but that's not true. If you implement fasting in your diet plan, you will get more energy and a higher metabolism. Number 3, its beneficial aspects. The third reason why the fasting is a good practice to include in your workout plan is its beneficial aspects, which give you great benefits. When you do any type of fasting, your body adjusts to it by consuming your body fat. It also has some psychological benefits, like you would feel that you are not a slave to food. Intermittent fasting is the best way to balance your fat loss and workout routines. There is no better way than intermittent fasting of getting maximum fat loss with applying a full workload. Chapter 2. Intermittent Fasting for Women. For women who are interested in weight loss, intermittent fasting may seem like a great choice, but many people want to know, should women fast? Is intermittent fasting effective for women? There have been a few key studies about intermittent fasting which can help to shed some light on this interesting new dietary trend. Intermittent fasting is also known as an alternate day fasting. Although there are certainly some variations on this diet, intermittent fasting for women has some beneficial effects. What makes it especially important for women who are trying to lose weight is that women have a much higher fat proportion in their bodies. When trying to lose weight, the body primarily burns through carbohydrate stores with the first 6 hours, and then starts to burn fat. Women who are following a healthy diet and exercise plan may be struggling with stubborn fat, but fasting is a realistic solution to this. Obviously, our bodies and our metabolism changes when we hit menopause. One of the biggest changes that women experience is that they have a slower metabolism and they start to put on weight. Fasting may be a good way to reverse and prevent this weight gain, though. Studies have shown that this fasting pattern helps to regulate appetite, and people who follow it regularly do not experience the same cravings that others do. If you are trying to adjust to your slower metabolism, intermittent fasting can help you to avoid eating too much on a daily basis. When you reach a certain age, your body also starts to develop some chronic diseases like high cholesterol and high blood pressure. Intermittent fasting has been shown to decrease both cholesterol and blood pressure, even without a great deal of weight loss. If you've started to notice your numbers rising at the doctor's office each year, you may be able to bring them back down with fasting, even without losing much weight. Intermittent fasting may not be a great idea for every woman. Anyone with a specific heart condition or who tends to be hypoglycemic should consult with a doctor. However, this new dietary trend has specific benefits for women who naturally store more fat in their bodies and may have trouble getting rid of these fat stores. Chapter 3: How to quickly lose fat for women. Losing fat can actually be very simple, but at the same time it can be very frustrating. It's simple because weight loss is not a complex equation. As long as you are consuming fewer calories than what your body burns, you will lose weight. On the flip side, this can be very frustrating for those who don't know how to create the caloric deficit needed. Whatever the reason for wanting to lose weight, we are ultimately racing against time. So here are the best ways to quickly lose fat for women. Intermittent fasting for fat loss. The fitness industry has given fasting for weight loss a bad rap over the past few years. There have been a lot of misconceptions and myths around fasting that people seem to get nervous about the idea. Let's first address the myths before we can move forward. Fasting does not cause your body to go into the infamous starvation mode, nor does it slow the metabolism or break down muscle. The fitness industry has us believe that we have to constantly eat small meals throughout the day to keep the metabolism going. If we skip a meal or miss breakfast, our body goes into starvation mode, which somehow causes the metabolism to slow down. This is one of the biggest myths in the industry. It is very difficult to keep calories down. I understand the idea behind eating small meals throughout the day, but the problem is that a lot of people underestimate how many calories they consume with each meal. It can be very difficult to keep the calories low when eating in this manner. Instead, fasting for a 24-hour period, 1 to 2 times a week, causes a huge caloric deficit without damaging your metabolism. Not only will you lose more fat in this way, but it breaks food addictions and enhances your body's ability to cleanse and purify itself. Remember, some of the oldest people that have ever lived fasted at least one time every week during their entire life. Remember, eating less is the most important. You can't outwork a bad diet. High-intensity interval training followed by steady-state cardio. You don't have to be stuck on a treadmill or exercise bike for hours upon end. Long and boring cardio has been the norm when women attempt to lose weight. What you need is high-intensity interval training. Not only is it far superior in burning more calories than traditional cardio, but it can be done in much shorter time. Commonly known as HIIT, high-intensity interval training is where you have short but intense effort followed with a longer rest period of less effort. You can implement HIIT into just about any cardio machine or workout. Exercise bikes, swimming, running, jump rope, step climbers, etc. The only machine I would exclude is elliptical machines. They are popular among women for a reason. They are really easy. You simply can't work hard enough on those machines, and they are notoriously inaccurate in judging how many calories you have burned. HIIT outline: sprint for 30 seconds, light jog, or walk for 1 minute. Note, these intervals will be done for 15 to 20 minutes. Steady state cardio after HIIT. A steady jog or brisk walk for 15 to 30 minutes. Note, HIIT and steady state cardio workouts can be done 3 to 5 times a week. Go into each workout on an empty stomach for maximum HGH release. HGH is commonly known as human growth hormone. This powerful hormone helps preserve muscle mass and burns fat. A combination of intense exercise and fasting will naturally increase HGH levels. By not consuming a single calorie 3 to 4 hours before your workout and waiting at least 1 to 2 hours after your workout will cause HGH to burn fat very effectively. Allowing your body to burn extra calories naturally without killing yourself with extra workouts is a much better approach to fitness. There is nothing wrong with taking drastic measures for a short amount of time. If that means cutting out sweets, adding extra workouts, or skipping out on Sunday brunch, then that is what it's going to take. If you can get in the habit of finding different ways to cut calories, then you will be amazed at how fast your body will change. Always keep in mind that fat loss is about 80% diet. Exercise is extremely beneficial, but it is only meant to supplement the diet. The moment you can grasp that idea, you will be light years ahead of traditional fat loss advice. Now that you understand how to quickly lose fat for women, you can be an inspiration for other ladies that need to do the same. Chapter 4. Diet Plans for Women of All Ages. In the old days, eating plans for women simply involved cutting back on portion sizes. The great dining plate is replaced by the bread plate. Serving sizes were accordingly cut down, and with that, the size of the waistline. These days, life is not so straightforward, and diets for females must be individualized in order to meet a range of issues affecting how we live right now. During this short section, I've gathered ladies based on standard lifestyles and have proposed diet plans for women who fit into these descriptions. First and foremost, here's a diet for women. The working mother is constantly liable to overeating by simply eating unnecessary snack food items, and on top of that, eating ready-made meals and refined foods to meet the urges related to intermittent meal times. The healthy eating plans for the working mom should be organized at the start. When devising fat loss programs for females that have a job, I usually encourage them to incorporate specific morning, lunchtime, as well as snack products to their regular shopping list. This means an extra loaf of bread, extra greens, and more cheese. Whilst most weight loss diet plans for ladies focus on wide selection, there is nothing more dull as eating the exact same salad and cheese sandwich for a snack when the alternative is takeaway food or a fast warm snack you can buy. Modify the food every week. Breakfast time is easy. Cereal, fresh fruits, and yogurt. Once again, swap the cereal once the box runs out. With regard to the evening meal, use the oldest weight loss plan for women strategy in the book. Decrease the dimensions of your plate. Working mom, you are way too busy to trouble over individual meals. Eat the same thing, but try eating much less. The weight reduction plan for ladies below 30 and with no children can be vast and interesting. You have plenty of time to eat as well as savor delicious food. You are lucky. Begin every day by having a juice smoothie based on reduced fat natural yogurt and fruit. Shop for fruit yogurt and add still more fresh fruit. Your entire body is going to be energized and all set to burn calories. Try to eat lunches of fresh deli salads with limited salad dressing. When you can, go to a lunchroom and purchase fresh green salad each day. Try to ask them to use goat cheese and olives as well as add on balsamic dressing. Make sure the salad is big and have a good-sized bit of fresh bread too. This weight loss diet for women below 30 invariably include dinners that don't consist of carbs. Simply stay away from the habit of rice, spuds, and bread. It is going to cause you to be hungry by 9 o'clock and have you stretching for the chocolate. Spend some time making fabulous dinners of organic meat, chicken, and fish, along with lots of healthy veggies. This diet program for girls will be easy, fun, nonspecific, and yet will work. Delight in your food whilst you still can. The final weight loss plan for women is designed for women over 40. I'm just about with you, girls. For you, it is rather simple. Weight is harder to shift. You'll have to do a good deal of physical exercise. Forget the 30 minutes 3 times a week. You will need to work out hard for at least 1 hour, 4 to 5 times a week. Without this, no diet program for females is going to show good results. Additionally, you're going to need to stick to either of the fat loss programs for women mentioned above, as you may also be a working mother with kids. If you are fortunate enough to be in a stage in your life which you have time on your hands, then follow the meal plan for females under 30, but squeeze in a small portion of carb with your evening meal. By little, I'm talking about 1/2 a prepared cup of rice or half a baked spud. Use caution. Excessive carbs cause you to be hungrier later on, getting you hurrying for the biscuit jar at 9 p.m. I sincerely hope you find these 3 eating plans for ladies uncomplicated yet effective. Chapter 5. The Wonderful Benefit of Intermittent Fasting. The pattern of eating called intermittent fasting usually means one fasts for a period of time and eats for a period of time. Many choose a 24-hour cycle of fasting, then eat healthy the next day and continue this process as a lifestyle change. Research has been done on animals to find the benefits of this type of fasting, and you will be happy to know it really can be beneficial to your health. Intermittent fasting can add 40% to 56% more years to your life. That in itself is reason enough to do it. However, other benefits include body weight reduction and fat oxidation. When you fast, your body is forced to scavenge for fuel, thus removing aged and damaged cells in the process. This sort of cleanses the body of undesirable and unwanted things and helps the weight loss and benefits of the good food choices be increased and more beneficial to your body. Rats have been shown to have long-term and improved survival after heart failure after being on an IF eating plan too. Researchers are also saying that it might help age-related deficits in cognitive function too. So that tells me that it might help ward off Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia. Your risk of heart disease and other heart ailments may also be decreased when you start a healthy intermittent fasting regimen. Your risk for other chronic illnesses and diseases will also most likely be reduced. A healthier you can begin with intermittent fasting and healthy food choices. Keep carbs to 50 to 100 grams per day. Many women eat between 1,200 and 1,500 calories per day, and when limiting their carbs, they are still losing weight. Men can handle up to 2,000 calories per day. Of course, less is best, and you need to determine caloric intake based on your activities such as working hard and exercising. Drink lots of fluids, especially water, and exercise in the evenings if possible. This will help with those late night cravings. Once you start eating and drinking healthier, your body won't crave as much, if any, junk food. So making healthy food choices will simply get easier and easier as you progress in the intermittent fasting routine. Alternate day fasting, or ADF, means alternate days of eating and not eating any food. But there is also an intermittent fasting called modified fasting where you consume about 20% of your normal calories one day and then eat normally but healthy the next day. This is often more attainable for people because they feel less deprived when they are able to at least eat something daily, and it still has most of the benefits of the ADF regimen. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you tell your healthcare professional of your plans so he or she is aware and can work with you to reach your goals. If you want to lose weight, lose fat, feel better, then intermittent fasting might be the answer for you. Chapter 6. 5-day intermittent fasting diet plan for faster weight loss. The accepted method for faster weight loss has changed. Gone are the days of reducing your calorie intake and keeping it low. This out-of-date method leads to misery and a slow metabolism. Research today is focused on constantly shifting your calorie intake to keep your body confused so it never adapts to your diet. This method keeps your metabolism high and gives you the best and fastest weight loss possible. This section shares a 5-day diet plan that shows you how to use intermittent fasting and cheating days to burn off the fat in record time. Faster weight loss. By constantly alternating your diet, you stay one step ahead of your body and it never has time to adapt to your diet. To do this, follow the recommendations below. Day 1. Start with a cheat day. A high-calorie day creates the right hormonal conditions inside your body to support rapid weight loss. The key to understanding why this works is to understand that weight loss is highly dependent on hormones. One in particular is leptin. It's nicknamed the anti-starvation hormone, and it is the one most responsible for slowing your metabolism when you fast or severely reduce your calorie intake for more than a few days. When you cheat or overeat, you boost your leptin levels, and this in turn keeps your metabolism high. Day 2. Fast or near fast day. On this day, keep your calories very low. The conditions are right inside your body for rapid weight loss thanks to day 1, so use this day to drastically create a calorie deficit. You can further this deficit with exercise on this day. Day 3. Low-calorie day. Though not as severe as day 2, this day will keep your calories at a low level. This will vary for different people, but generally the low 1,000 calories per day range for women and the mid 1,000 calorie per day range for men. Day 4. Moderate carbohydrate day. You want to give your body a small energy boost on this day, which can also add back some of the lost glycogen storage, basically carbohydrate storage, into your muscles. Eat a diet with approximately 40% carbohydrates, 30% protein, and 30% fats. Day 5. Protein only day. This day you will completely deplete your carbohydrate storage again to keep your body confused and also prepare for your next cheat date, the following day. On this day, exercise to further deplete your carbohydrate storage. Repeat this cycle up to 5 times, then take a break. Check with your doctor before beginning the diet to be sure it is safe for you, and then enjoy the results. Chapter 7. Fat-Burning Secrets for Women. Body fat distribution. Women bear almost double the amount of body fat as men, primarily to help them carry and nourish babies. Fat is a major energy source needed for fetal development and protection. We have no control over where the fat cells decide to swell and shrink. The fat cells in the lower body, where women tend to put on inches, are more prone to fat storage. The fat cells in the upper body, where men tend to carry weight, are more prone to releasing fat. Women who have dieted will notice that as they lose weight, body fat starts melting away from the upper body first, followed by the preserving lower body fat. Yet the reverse is true when gaining weight. The fat cells in the hips, thighs, butt, and abs will enlarge first. Women who have yo-yo dieted for years have an upper body that is disproportionately smaller than her lower body. Hormones. During pregnancy and the menstrual cycle, hormones encourage water retention in the fat cells. The excess fluid slows down circulation and makes it even more difficult to metabolize fat. The progesterone in women's bodies affects appetite and mood. It causes hunger during the second half of your menstrual cycle and is responsible for the ravenous appetite experienced during pregnancy. Progesterone also causes sluggishness and sleepiness, making one less inclined to exercise. Women who take birth control pills gain on average 3 to 5 pounds as a side effect. Pregnancy. Throughout pregnancy, fat cells in a woman's body not only expand but often multiply in number. When the pregnancy is over, those fat cells remain and are always ready to enlarge when the body takes in more calories than it uses. In addition, the thyroid gland, which drives the metabolism, becomes notoriously sluggish during pregnancy to help the body hold on to fat. Not surprisingly, after 2 or 3 children, the weight loss dilemma may be compounded. Menopause. During perimenopause, the 10 years prior to menopause, women begin producing less estrogen, which is a productive hormone. We also begin to sleep less and our appetite becomes stimulated. As perimenopause begins, fat tends to accumulate around the waist and chest, increasing our risk of heart disease. Aging. Beginning in the mid-20s, women lose an average of about 7 pounds of muscle mass each decade, compared to 5 pounds for men. To make matters worse, non-exercising women typically gain 1 to 2 pounds of fat a year for life, and the fat gain number can be much higher depending on lifestyle choices. So by your mid-40s, you have probably lost close to 15 pounds of metabolically active muscle and replaced it with over 20 pounds of lethargic fat, and that's conservative. Your metabolism has dramatically slowed and your body composition has changed in unfavorable proportions. To make matters worse, if you have dieted, I imagine you've attempted 1 or 2, you have accelerated the muscle loss process. Dieting without exercise can lead to 25% to 28% muscle loss. Aging also makes excess fat harder to hide. As skin begins to lose its elasticity and sag, it has a harder time containing fat cells, giving the skin a rippled appearance often referred to as cellulite. Women also face many social and emotional challenges which can lead them to become a slave to the scale, avoid exercise for fear of bulking up, and fall for spot reduction and quick fix solutions, all of which only compound the problem. These fears, misconceptions, and bugaboos, which hold so many women hostage, could easily fill a book, but let's skip over all that and talk about solutions that do work. Now that you understand the special physiological challenges women face, let's talk about how to overcome them to attain the strong, trim, fit body you really want. Exercise is the key to fat burning. If you do one thing, incorporate 2 to 3 strength and cardio workouts into your weekly routine using the following 10 tips. The results are guaranteed. Here are the top 10 fat burning secrets for women. Number 1. Warm up before strength training session. Warming up increases blood flow to muscles by about 55%, giving you better muscle contraction. You'll sweat earlier, which helps to regulate your body temperature. It also jumpstarts the neuromuscular connection, which initiates the release of carbohydrate and fat enzymes and hormones while reducing your perceived exertion during strength training. Just 5 minutes of walking or cycling will meet this requirement. Number 2, vary your cardio exercises. Alternate between 2 or more cardio activities like walking and cycling or kickboxing and step aerobics. This will help to optimally develop your cardiovascular fitness, maintain the element of fun in exercise, help you avoid overtraining as well as injury. Bottom line, you will expend more calories. Number 3, incorporate several cardio techniques. Use a combination of continuous, interval, circuit, and fartlek, speed play training. Changing techniques forces your body to adapt and become more efficient. Vary the intensity and modify impact styles. For example, if you have been walking the same path at the same pace every day, begin to incorporate bursts of acceleration intermittently. The underlying principle is that change is what keeps the body progressing, making improvements, and burning fat. Number 4, plan your workouts in phases. Organize your workouts into cyclic structure. For example, for 2 to 3 weeks, exercise at a lower intensity for 45 to 60 minutes. And then for the next 2 to 3 weeks, do 20 to 30 minutes at your highest intensity. The following 2 to 3 weeks, go at a moderate intensity for 30 to 45 minutes. This system allows you to maintain a high level of fitness and not overtrain. This cycling of workout structures will help your body become more efficient at fat burning. Number 5, circuit train. Perform several strengthening exercises interspersed with a short cardio segments. For example, perform a leg press, lateral pull down, and abdominal crunch followed by 3 minutes of cycling. Then repeat another 3 strength exercises followed by 3 minutes of walking. Circuit training has a lower dropout rate, is an effective calorie burner, increases muscular strength, and decreases body fat. Number 6, strength train with multi-joint exercises. Choose exercises that work compound muscle groups, meaning more than one muscle group at a time. This will give you the most mileage per exercise. Examples include squats, lunges, and push-ups. For every pound of muscle on your body, you need 35 to 50 calories per day to sustain it, while every pound of fat on your body requires only a modest 2 calories per day. Number 7, exercise first thing in the morning. Morning exercisers have a higher likelihood of showing up. Later in the day, the odds that you'll skip your workout increase as interruptions arise and fatigue sets in. Morning exercise also helps regulate your hormone response, telling your body to release fat and kickstart your metabolism. Number 8, eat a primer meal prior to working out. Having a small balanced meal prior to exercise will help you burn fat. After you eat, your blood sugar rises and exercise acts like insulin to help regulate blood glucose. Eating will also give you the energy for a more intense workout. You will therefore burn more calories. Number 9, eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. Food has a thermic effect, meaning it takes energy or calories for your body to digest the food you eat. Eating several times throughout the day increases the thermic effect, so you burn more calories. Eating more often also keeps you from feeling like you're being deprived of food and prevents hunger from setting in, which can cause you to binge eat. Number 10, train with intensity. To get the full benefits of exercise, you must graduate from the pink weights and moderate walking. Do not be afraid to increase your resistance and challenge your muscles and cardiovascular system. In order to change, you have to push your physical limits beyond what you are accustomed to. In order for fat to be metabolized, it must first be released from the fat cell and then be transported by the bloodstream, where it is shunted to the liver and other active tissues to be used as fuel. If you are in a dehydrated state, the liver has to come to the aid of the kidneys and can't focus on its role of releasing fat. See Chapter 10 on hydration. To sum things up, you really can attain a feminine, firm, fit, and younger appearance regardless of your age or inherited traits. You can overcome any weaknesses and trouble spots to a certain degree with balanced and symmetrical strength, cardiovascular, and flexibility training, combined with making nutritious food choices. Focus on being the best you can be. A lean and healthy body is both realistic and achievable. Chapter 8, Intermittent Fasting for Rapid Weight Loss. No word can produce more fear, emotion, and misunderstanding in the world of diet and weight loss than fasting. The term conjures up visions of starving for days and weeks without a morsel of food and drinking only fruit juices. A traditional fast is controversial and possibly even unhealthy for certain people, but intermittent fasting relies on the emerging weight loss science of calorie restriction. According to Scientific America, weight loss is less about what you eat and more about the timing of each meal. Effective weight loss is possible when you eat according to your genes, more along the lines of our evolutionary ancestors when food was scarce and people rarely ate more than once a day, and more often every few days. It's important to understand that eating stimulates many biological events in our body, most of which have evolved to store energy as fat. For this reason, the type of food we eat and the timing of meals are critically important to meet our weight loss goals. Intermittent fasting fuels fat burn. Intermittent fasting does not involve starving for days on end, but rather works in harmony with the body's normal circadian rhythms. There are 2 types of intermittent fasting. The first involves a liquid diet for one day of the week with normal eating on the remaining days. The second method consists of non-caloric fluids only between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. each day, with 3 nutritionally fortified, reduced-calorie meals balanced over the remaining 12 hours. This is the recommended method of intermittent fasting, and most people find this form easier to tolerate as you'll be sleeping for a good portion of the 12-hour fast cycle. Fast for 12 hours, eat for 12 hours. When the body is not busy with the complex process of digestion, it's free to perform many critical tasks which are vital to our long-term health and weight loss goals. Eating large, highly refined meals several times a day forces our metabolism to stay in high gear, processing the excess surge of calories. Intermittent fasting for 12 hours a day, and especially curtailing meals or snacking after 7 p.m., will force our body to rely on fat stores for energy during the overnight hours. For many people, this is the boost they need to effectively and naturally drop their weight into a normal range. Make wise food choices. Technically, fasting doesn't require a special diet, but proper food choices are critical to hitting and maintaining your weight loss target. The total amount of calories we eat, timing of meals, and nutritional balance of our food all affect our metabolism and the way we store or release fat. In effect, we control our weight destiny through food and physical activity. Nothing impacts our weight, body shape, and health more than the foods that we eat. Limit calories and make them count. Intermittent fasting is a tool which can be used as part of your weight loss arsenal, but reduced calories and nutritional balance are the foundational blocks to sustaining your target weight goal. You'll naturally reduce calories by restricting foods to 12 hours each day, but you also need to limit total quantities and make them well balanced from all food groups. Men need to limit daily calories to 1,800 and women to 1,500, with slight adjustments being made for extremely active individuals. Intermittent fasting is founded on the science of human metabolism, as it relies on the body's evolved responses to food to achieve improved health. Limit total calories and eat only during the morning, afternoon, and early evening hours, allowing for a 12-hour fast each day. By working in harmony with the body's normal rhythms, you'll be rewarded with naturally sustainable weight loss for life. Chapter 9. The Truth About Intermittent Fasting. The benefits of fasting have been big news lately, but how effective is it? Most people are interested in it as a weight loss tool, and indeed, you can lose weight using it. But in reality, it has many benefits beyond weight loss, and some of them are quite miraculous. It has been known for many years that it extends the life of mice, worms, and flies rather dramatically, and even appears to extend the life of monkeys. Does it extend the life of humans? Many people are convinced that it does, but the truth is that we are still not sure, although it looks hopeful. There is no doubt, however, that it has health benefits in relation to heart disease, cancer, dementia, and even your mood and well-being. It can't be called a cure, but it does set a stage for healing by allowing vital parts of your body to rest and recuperate. There's no doubt that excess eating puts a burden on your body and that it needs an occasional rest. Indeed, studies have shown that if it doesn't rest, it forgoes much of the repair and regeneration needed for optimal health. Glucose, glycogen, and fat. Your body needs energy to run properly, and it gets this energy from the food you eat. Food is turned into a form of sugar called glucose. Your cells, and particularly the ones in your brain, need a constant supply of glucose, and if it gets low, you begin to feel fatigued and weak. Glucose circulates in your blood after you eat, and it is used up fairly rapidly as you go about your everyday tasks. If not replenished, it is in fact depleted in a few hours. This creates a problem. How do you maintain a good supply? Glucose itself can't be stored, but it can be turned into a form called glycogen that can be stored in your muscles and liver. From here it can be drawn out and used as needed. It is usually good for about 10 to 12 hours. What happens when it is depleted? The body then turns to the fat cells that are stored throughout your body. They can be broken down and converted to what is called ketones. This is, of course, what dieters look for, namely the loss of fat cells. But you have to be careful if you remain in this stage for too long. The body soon begins to break down protein. It can also be converted into glucose. Through a rather complicated process, and this causes the loss of muscle, something you don't want. Indeed, in most diets, a fair amount of the weight loss comes from muscle loss along with a depletion of water, leaving you dehydrated. So don't be deceived. Weight loss through fasting. As I mentioned earlier, you can lose weight by fasting, but most doctors and dietitians do not recommend long fasting periods because they can have an adverse effect on your overall health. In addition, it is difficult for most people to fast for long periods of time. A better alternative is what is called intermittent fasting, in which you fast on certain days of the week and eat normally on the others. One form of this is alternate day fasting. In this case, you fast or restrict your calories on one day and eat normally the next. In this diet, you restrict your calories only 2 days a week. He suggests 500 calories for women on these days and 600 for men. This is much easier for most people to do, and it appears to give the same results as more extended fasts. But weight loss is not the most important benefit of such a diet, so let's look at other benefits. It may be hard to believe, but there are tremendous benefits to intermittent fasting. The main thing it does is rest many of the vital parts and organs of your body so they can do their job better. Some of these are: it rests the digestive system. This in turn helps many other parts of the body. It reduces blood sugar. This decreases the production of insulin and makes it more sensitive and effective. Furthermore, it rests the pancreas. High blood pressure is controlled. Detoxification occurs. Fasting helps clear out your body and detoxifying it. For this, it is important to drink lots of water. It increases your energy and makes you feel better. It helps protect you against heart disease and stroke. It helps rev up your immune system, and as a result, it fights excess chronic inflammation. It reduces oxidative stress caused by free radicals in your cells. Some surprising and different benefits. One of the hormones in your body is called IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. It helps your cells grow and is particularly important in growing children. As you reach adulthood, however, it decreases significantly. This is important since as you grow older, it appears to have adverse effects. It accelerates aging and can even lead to cancer. So it is not something you want high levels of when you're older, and studies have shown that intermittent fasting decreases it. Also in your brain is a protein referred to as BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It is important because it has been shown to help stem cells turn into new neurons. This takes place in a section of the brain called the hippocampus, which is critical in relation to memory and learning. BDNF has many effects. It appears to protect against dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and it also acts as an antidepressant, suppressing anxiety. Finally, intermittent fasting also helps increase autophagy, which is a system in the cells that gets rid of damaged molecules that could lead to serious neurological diseases. Diabetes comes in two forms, diabetes 1 and diabetes 2. We will mainly be concerned with diabetes 2. As we saw earlier, all cells use glucose as fuel, but it can't get into the cells without insulin. Insulin is produced in the pancreas according to the amount of glucose in the blood. Its role is to allow the glucose to enter the cell. Most of the cells in your body have what are called insulin receptors that bind to insulin that is circulating in your blood. When a cell has insulin attached to its surface, it allows glucose in, so it obviously plays an important role in your body. But too much can be detrimental. Insulin increases your hunger, promotes the storage of fat cells, and has been linked to diabetes and heart problems. One of the major problems associated with insulin is what is called insulin resistance. In this case, the pancreas produces insulin, but insulin receptors on the cells no longer work properly and don't allow glucose to enter as they should. With no place to go, the glucose continues to circulate in the blood and the cells soon begin to starve. The body realizes that something is wrong and the pancreas produces more insulin in an attempt to get sucrose into the cells. But this causes the pancreas to overwork and eventually begins to wear out. The result is diabetes 2. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting improves your insulin sensitivity. This in turn allows your body to do a better job of controlling your blood glucose levels after meals and therefore helps rest your pancreas. Both of these are important in relation to the prevention of diabetes 2. Rules for fasting. It is best to use a 5-2 approach with regular meals 5 days a week and 2 days of restricted food. 500 calories for women, 600 for men. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. It helps flush out toxins. When not on a fasting day, and even when fasting, keep your nutrition maximized. In particular, eat sufficient vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Remember that 12 hours of fasting is needed for the effect. From 12 to 18 hours is best. It plateaus beyond 18. You can exercise during fasting periods, but don't overdo it. Be careful of fasting if you are diabetic. Conclusion. This approach has recently become very popular among both experienced athletes and average people who want to lose weight. It appears to be quite effective and is much safer than long-term fasting or very low-calorie diets. In fact, it has been shown to provide several significant health benefits. The principle of intermittent fasting is this. Instead of eating your meals at various times throughout the day, you eat one large meal and fast for the rest of the day. Research has shown that this way of eating improves insulin sensitivity and mitochondrial energy, which leads to an improved ability to fight diseases and slows the signs of aging. The reduced oxidative stress helps every cell of the body remain strong and resilient. Scientists were surprised by these results because they expected to find that a long period of fasting was detrimental to health. The best time to take your 2 hours feeding window is in the evening. This is because when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, during digestion, energy is diverted from your sympathetic nervous system. This is why you often feel sleepy after a large meal. Your body is pre-programmed to want to rest while you assimilate your nutrients. Take advantage of this and have your meal when you can. Do just that without affecting your schedule. Be sure that you are getting enough calories during your 2-hour eating window. This can be difficult, especially at first. Men should consume no less than 1,800 calories per day and women no less than 1,200. Don't violate the principle of eating healthy foods just to get calories because you will end up shorting yourself on nutrients. During your fasting period, it's all right to have water and tea, and you can even have a small amount of green vegetables or berries. These foods are so easily digested that they don't counteract the benefits of the fast. If you find that you need a little something in order to have energy for your workouts, the best solution is to schedule your exercise during your feeding window with a small protein-rich meal 15 to 30 minutes before you work out, followed by a larger meal afterward. This has been Intermittent Fasting Weight Loss Diet Tips for Women, written by Frankie Jameson, narrated by Denise L. Fountain. Copyright 2017 by Frankie Jameson. Production copyright 2017 by Frankie Jameson.